2, 1.
It's showtime, folks!
Yes, it is. Woo! Welcome to the Pins and Wins podcast, folks.
Welcome.
You guys ready?
Yes.
I said, are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes, as I said, welcome to the Pins and Wins podcast. I am your host with the most, Big Will. And of course, always with me, my partner in crime, Johnny Quest.
JQ. What up, y'all?
And not to mention, we've got to the left, Big Sexy Nephew.
What happening, Chief?
And to my right, we've got the white chocolate, Mr. Rob.
Let me give a shout out to Will. Happy birthday, my man.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you. I'm 30 plus tax. That's all I'm saying. And of course, last but never least, we've got the mad scientist, the man rocking the board, Mr. Cap. Come say hello. Come say hello. Call me sexy. Oh, I can do that.
That's dark chocolate.
Sexual chocolate. All right. On today's episode, we are going to obviously discuss our WrestleMania board that we started last episode. Mm-hmm. And, of course, we're going to do a little sports talk today. You know, we got a few subjects in the chamber.
Yeah, we got a lot going on with sports, man.
So, how you fellas doing today?
Feeling good, man.
Real good.
I'm fantastic. Like I said, it's my birthday. You know,
It's your birthday.
my wife got me the shirt. Yep. Hey,
We're going
it's
to
the
party
birthday.
like it's your birthday.
You do anything special yet today for your birthday?
Not yet. My wife made me my favorite breakfast, which is sausage, biscuits, and gravy. But unfortunately,
That's my number 2.
there was
That's
not
my
enough
number 2
time to
go-to.
make the biscuits, so she took her mother's breakfast thing, put the little sausage gravy on it. It was fantastic.
That's awesome,
I
man.
gotta. So, speaking of birthdays, how come I never got the saying you can't have your cake and eat it too? What the fuck am I supposed to do with my cake besides eat it?
I don't get it either.
I don't know. And there's a bunch of fat people in the room. I gotta spread the news. I found Reese's cups with a mellow top on them.
That stuff is good.
Delicious. So
Unfortunately,
I ate one. My nipples went bing, bing.
as weird as it says, it's too big. And when it comes to my peanut butter, I don't mind it. But when, you know, there's too much sometimes.
You need to get back to making your candy bacon, bro.
I can do it. But speaking of birthdays, also, Bad Bunny, his birthday's today.
Oh, word? Y'all birthday twins, huh?
Oh, yeah, we birthday buddies.
Dope, dope. You know who I'm birthday twins with?
Who?
Jim Jones
Try to blank.
Bowling,
from Dipset.
Oh,
we
okay.
fly,
Yeah.
no lie. You know this. Bowling.
That's
So,
dope, though.
I got some great news to share with you guys. I mean, I've somewhat mentioned it to you. But next month, I'm going to be a little MIA. We might have to put a little pause on recording at the end of next month because I have a huge announcement. So in 2019 and 2021, I had 2 different gastric bypass surgeries. One, because I was too large to have the full surgery, so I had to have the gastric sleeve. Well, with all the hard work and weight loss that I've done, I'm finally having my skin removal surgery slated for April 12th.
Yeah.
Knock on wood, everything goes well.
Salute, bruh.
man.
So,
That's a weight breakthrough. Come on, give me the glass. You just made the
what?
There we go.
Sorry, I'm learning the board. You
There
gotta
we
give.
go.
Yo, that's so awesome, man. Yo, Will, I'm gonna tell you, man, throughout your journey and seeing you, you know, go from where you went to where you are now, and I've told you this, you know, during the timeline, but you definitely have inspired me, encouraged me, and motivated me to make sure I stayed on my journey of health and wellness. You know what I'm saying? So just know that not just myself, I know you impacted hundreds, if not thousands of others on the book. So great job to your discipline, man.
I do appreciate that. It's been a long journey. As a matter of fact, Cap got it right this week. Please show the picture. So this is a picture of me and my boy Wade and his wife Steph right before WrestleMania 32 in Dallas, my crown jewel of live wrestling action. This is when I was at my largest. I weighed 524 pounds
Goddamn.
in this picture.
You look like a big ass shadow with a head.
I'm just saying, I had to walk with a cane. I did not enjoy the experience because walking was so difficult for me.
Painful, probably.
It was painful. I was short of breath. It was very uncomfortable. And the last time I weighed in, I weighed 320. I don't remember the final number, but in that time frame, I've lost over 200 pounds. I've lost a human
Crazy.
being.
Literally. No, you lost a fat human being. Yeah, you lost a obese human being.
That's why I say I'm a fat man in remission. So
that's crazy,
I just
bro.
wanted to share that with you and the viewers, and especially don't forget to hit the likes and the subscribe.
Please.
So,
Good
all
job,
right.
man.
So
Hold on, hey, what stadium was that at?
that was at
Texas.
AT&T Stadium,
plays
which I believe it's Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yo, you were,
Beautiful
you
stadium.
were in the same spot where me and my wife was when we went to go see the Patriots and them
So-
play.
Yeah.
That's
Did y'all
the-
win?
That will be the biggest event that's ever played at Arlington Stadium, by the way.
Well,
WrestleMania.
no, I think it was the Pacquiao fight. I think the Pacquiao fight had like 110,000.
I mean, but when was the last time the Cowboys played a meaningful game in Dallas?
Oh,
I'm gonna take that.
but
I'm gonna swallow it.
this is coming
I'm
from
gonna eat it.
This is coming from a Bills fan that
Who's
has
never won a
no
Super Bowl.
championships. I forget how many you guys got.
I don't know, but we keep losing in the AFC Championship to the Chiefs.
Boy, I love losing Super Bowls. That's what Bill stands for.
Their favorite vegetable is artichoke.
Yo, that's horrible.
I never heard that, but that's fire.
All right, so what we got going on, Will, with this new road to WrestleMania?
All right. So originally, I don't know if you guys remember from the last episode, we started creating this board here. Let me show it up close. But unfortunately, if you've seen the last 2 weeks of wrestling, this
happened.
out the window
See ya.
because some good shit has happened.
Oh shit, let's
So,
talk about it.
I got to retract the previous statement. Now, I said I was deeply against the tag team match with Rock and Roman versus Seth and Cody.
Yes, I remember
I
that.
hated the idea.
I loved it.
But then they presented the match,
Yeah.
and The Rock sold it to me from the moment he announced it. Because, can I put on my Nostradamus hat?
Please do.
Or am I too soon into the episode?
Wait,
Put
wait.
on your Miss Cleo hat. Call
Wait,
me
what?
now.
First, what was it about The Rock? How did he sell it to? Like, what brought it out to where you're like, oh, I fuck with it?
The stipulation of the fact that if Cody and Seth win, there's going to be no bloodline during the Cody versus Roman match.
Yeah, it'd be straight one-on-one.
And so this presents a little intrigue.
Yeah.
So here's what my Nostradamus has going on.
All right, what's up?
This affects three matches altogether.
First,
One, obviously, the tag match.
yeah.
I think Seth and Cody are going to win.
Absolutely.
I do too.
Yep.
Because,
in what fashion do you think? If you had to guess, real quick.
Straight.
see, and I think The Rock is going to do what's best for business and take the loss to create tension between him and Roman.
I disagree. It's not the tension. I think he's gonna be passing it on to the next legacy of superstars.
Which
He's
is
gonna give him that stamp of approval. Like Cody's that guy, Steph's that guy. These are them guys. Love them the way you love me.
But this is why it's going to lead into the next match. But the outcome, I don't think everybody's going to be happy about. Then there's match number 2, Seth versus Drew McIntyre.
Okay.
Because I think they're going to have both the tag match and that title match night one.
Yeah.
And because Seth is so preoccupied with the tag match, he's going to be distracted and he's going to lose
I agree.
to Drew, and Drew's going to have the title.
I agree
Now
with
let
that.
me ask you a question: does Damian Priest cash in?
I want to see that happen because how funny would it be is Drew wins and then Damian and cashes in. And if you notice, the Judgment Day has been getting a lot of cheers lately, especially with everybody loving Rhea Ripley. But the rest of the members are starting to get cheers, except for Dominic.
Wait, Dominic is. I mean, he's the villain you love to hate.
which is true.
Like, he's becoming the best at that.
Did you see he even got booed at his own wedding?
No, who did he marry? Anybody in wrestling?
His longtime girlfriend. They've been like together for 12 years.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he stood up for his speech and everybody started booing.
Oh, that's fire. Yeah, yo, he's got a bright future of a villain, man.
Absolutely.
And so, no, I didn't see that. You're going to have to show that to me. So, and then last but not least is obviously Cody versus Roman.
Yeah.
Cody is not going to win. And the reason why is I think they're going to throw a curveball. Is that Seth is going to cost him the match. Whoa. And here's why. Because he was so distracted by teaming up with Cody that it cost him his World Heavyweight Championship match.
Okay.
And Seth and Roman are still boys.
Are they?
From their
Even though he
days.
called him a cross dresser, wearing his wife's clothes and shit, which he does look like he be wearing his wife's clothes.
How many times
Becky
do you talk
Lynch,
trash to your boys?
all the time?
But I never called John a cross-dresser.
I'm just saying, but it's part of the setup.
The theatrics of it all.
Because if you think about it, when Cody was in AEW, he pulled the same move that he had a match with Chris Jericho that if I don't win, I will never go for the AEW championship again. And he lost.
Okay.
So that's going to happen with this match, and it's going to be due to Seth. And so him and Seth are going to start feuding because, I'm sorry, heel Seth
It's better than babyface.
Yes. I mean, yeah, the fans chant a song, but
Yeah.
just like Shinsuke, they'll chant a song anyway.
Right. So let me ask you this. Being that Cody has already beat Seth, 3 times already? And what kind of rivalry will that create other than some great-ass wrestling because they're excellent ring workers? But, I mean, with no title to differentiate the power balance, it's just going to be grudge match after grudge match. And where does Roman fit in the scheme of things if him and Seth kind of become boys again and he costs Cody the match?
Well, with what I mentioned about The Rock losing the match, you can build Rock versus Roman kind of like when Rock versus Cena took a whole entire year. You can book that for next year's WrestleMania and basically have Rock versus Roman built through the entire year of there's tension because you lost the match and I had to create a backup plan for me to keep my title. And that basically The Rock is now coming back trying to feed off of the Bloodline's star power to make him relevant again in the world of wrestling.
Right. Now, let's take a couple steps back. All right. I love where you brought. I love the insight. What did you think about when The Rock was getting ready to say, "If you smell," and then Roman put his hand on his wrist?
Oh my God, that was
That moment.
What sold that the most was Paul Heyman's expression. Like his jaw dropped. You know, like the memes of somebody's jaw dropping.
Yeah.
That was it. Because
So fire.
he had the balls to stop his cousin
Yeah. The man.
to have him acknowledge him.
Yo, that was so crazy. He looked at him. At that moment right there, I felt Roman. I felt what he was like. You know what I'm saying? Like, he stood up. He's like, hold up. You've been out here, glamoring around, getting all the love, got me looking like the little brother, people on the internet talking crazy about me. And then in front of everybody, acknowledge me, my nigga.
Exactly.
That was so fired. And The Rock took his shades off. I thought he was about to act a fool.
same.
Nah, but he humbled himself.
And have you all seen SmackDown yet?
Yeah.
What do you think of the new intro for The Rock?
I didn't notice it, really. I
With
didn't
the lightning bolts and then him and right there in the middle?
Oh, I missed it. I didn't see that one there.
Oh, you got to rewatch it because that set it off.
Word.
It only took them 3 different appearances for heel Rock to make that happen, but
This heel Rock seems forced, though. It feels forced. It doesn't look natural.
wait a minute. Who said that?
Who did that?
I forget who said that.
So what? So I mean, How do you think that's going to play into the fact of the possible feud or, the tag match with The Rock acknowledging him and then The Rock coming up short some way or another? You know what I mean? How do you think that's going to impact the possible feud brewing between him and Roman?
So basically him, downplaying The Rock, and The Rock going back to face Rock, even though heel Rock has been entertaining.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he likes being booed. I don't like when everybody was chanting diarrhea. I don't think he likes it. What do you think?
I don't think he likes it either.
Wait, you know what I do think? I think he internally likes it because he got the reaction he wanted. Because if you've noticed, for weeks prior, he was getting cheered, and it looked like he was more annoyed with the cheers. And I think he's like, all right, fuck it, I finally got him to look at me as a villain, so now I'm really going to push it to the max. Now that happened, how is he going to make that transition to babyface after, the quote-unquote possible screwing up the tag match at WrestleMania?
Because it's basically like what happened with the Usos, how Roman talked down to the Usos, talked down to everybody. He's going to start talking down to The Rock because you lost and I had to pull a audible to keep my title because you
owe.
He's the one that announced the stipulations.
Yeah.
It wasn't Roman saying that if it happens, you don't get everybody's gone.
Mm-hmm.
It was The Rock that was saying it. So the question is, were you trying to set me up?
So now, does that mean that you got The Rock winning the Rumble to face Roman? Or do you feel like it's going to work out differently?
I think if they continue it, it's good. If it doesn't happen at WrestleMania 41, it's going to happen at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I see that.
Because the question is, how long is The Rock going to be around in a wrestling capacity? It will give him time to train, and it will build the story between the two of them, because Roman's storyline for everybody around him has been gold since he's created the bloodline. It started with Jay, and look at Jay now. Jimmy, not so much. It didn't work for him. That's why he's back with the bloodline. What's the word I'm looking for? The dark horse in all of this is, where does Solo fit in this?
Yeah.
And the reason why is Solo was supposedly brought into the bloodline by the elders of the family.
I always wondered how he got introduced in there. So that's his story?
And that was what they mentioned, and that the elders wanted him to be part of the bloodline to keep things in order.
When did he first appear with the bloodline? Where can I go check that at?
Clash at the Castle. He costed Drew McIntyre the championship match in his hometown.
Oh, okay. I'll go look at that.
Yeah, go check that match out because it was awesome.
Bet.
And that was his introduction to the main roster, because he had been in NXT. And so he's been there ever since. He's never had a really big match.
Right.
All he's been is just
An enforcer.
Yeah.
A cheap shot, make it so that you disqualifications that's not caught type. Yeah.
or a lot of the matches they've won, it's because he hits the Samoan spike, and then it causes whoever to lose. I've saved your ass repeatedly.
I don't like that. It's become too predictable. Like, all right, Solo's at ringside. All right, they about to fucking cheat. Like,
it's even harder because when they're not at ringside, you're like, okay, so that's why I'm like against the whole if the bloodline loses the tag match. I don't like the stipulation because it's like that's already predictable. Who's coming? Who's helping?
yeah.
Because that's what disappointed me. Like I like the stipulation; it's fine, no bloodline. But then in the same sense, it's like who's coming? Who's gonna appear to save the day?
Speaking of that, who did you tell me you think is going to show up during that match?
Tama Tonga, man.
Who's that?
So Tama Tonga just finished with New Japan Wrestling.
Oh, okay.
and
I know.
He's the son of Haku.
That's Haku's son?
Yeah, that's Haku's son. And he has just signed with the WWE, and he was one of the founding members of the Bullet Club with Finn Balor and Gallows and Anderson.
So that's the guy that they were talking about. We don't know if he's going to go to AEW. We don't know if he's going to go to WWE.
Correct.
Right? Okay.
And everybody thought he was going to go to AEW because it seems like any guy with New Japan equity has ended up in AEW, which is such a mistake.
Right.
Well, who's the prime example?
Jay White.
That guy would have been huge in the WWE, but he went to AEW and now he's in the background.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
But The Rock has acknowledged Haku as his uncle, even though just like the whole thing with the whole bloodline, they're not biologically related. So, and he's not a member of the bloodline, so it doesn't fall into no member of the bloodline can be there.
Well, The Rock is biologically related to Roman Reigns.
Actually, no.
No, their grandfathers are brothers.
They
That
mentioned
makes
it.
you.
They mentioned it at the WrestleMania press conference. They're related by a Samoan blood oath.
Blood oath,
But
yeah.
biologically, they're actually not related.
Oh, I heard that their grandfathers are brothers.
But because
blood brothers.
it would be like
Like-
me saying to you,
Oath brothers or blood brothers?
blood.
they're
not-
oath brothers.
Oath, blood. Yeah,
So
but
it'd be
they
like
called it
me
the
and you
blood.
saying you and I are now brothers, and then your kids are now cousins with my kids.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, but we're not
that I
really
didn't know.
biologically
Yeah, I didn't know that.
related.
Yeah.
So, but with that being said, obviously our WrestleMania board, as I stated, was basically like the March Madness bracket. Our bracket was busted.
All right, so what we got? What changes we see now?
So what we're gonna do is for the matches that haven't already been announced, we're gonna basically pick who we think is gonna be in a match for the remaining big stars that either haven't had a match announced, whether you think it's gonna happen, or who you think they should face. So, do we even think Solo is gonna have a match, or is he just gonna be the sidekick?
He's just going to be the sidekick feature piece.
Yeah, sidekick.
Dominic Mysterio.
He's going to have a match.
But who do you think he's going to face?
Do we have a match for Gunther yet?
Not yet. They're having a match, I believe, Monday, where the winner of the match between Chad Gable,
Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn, JD McDonough, and Bronson Reed. Whoever wins that gauntlet match is going to face Gunther at WrestleMania.
Okay.
So obviously, unless they figure out a swerve,
I think he's gonna fight someone. Like they're gonna always have him in a pay-per-view. He's very popular. Like they gotta build him up. But he needs to start gathering some wins.
Shinsuke Nakamura, is he going to have a match, or is he going to be like one of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal contestants?
That's what he's gonna be, because he's not hot right now.
The almighty
What you got,
Bobby
Rob? What you
Lashley.
think?
I have to disagree.
What? Tell me.
Shinsuke is heel. Shinsuke is my favorite Shinsuke out of all of them, and I feel like the match, if you remember the last man standing match he had with Seth Rollins, that was fire.
Which he should have won.
He should have, yes. I mean, don't get me wrong. Him losing to Cody doesn't help. Him losing to Sammy doesn't help. But I do like the heel Shinsuke. So
I like him, but do you think who would be a good match to have him with? Do you think to get him on the?
I think
card.
if anything, if we have this 6-man gauntlet match on Monday, I feel like he might cost maybe Sami Zayn an opportunity, and we might get Sammy versus Shinsuke.
That'd be a great match. Yeah,
I could see
I
that.
like that. Good call.
Because there has been a couple people that he's been interacting with that he could cost the match for, and it's just, I mean, that would make it.
What you got, nephew? Who do you think for Shinsuke?
I pass.
All right. So we're going to start with you. What about the almighty Bobby Lashley? Who you thinking, is he going to be in the Memorial again, try to go back to back, or is he going to have a match?
I don't know. I want to see him, and I heard that he was back on the roster, so I don't know if it's true or not. But I want to see Lashley fight Brock.
It would be nice.
The two monsters, the two UFC guys.
Yeah, they already
The two
had their
MMA
little.
fights.
They had their little feud in about a couple years ago.
Yeah, with
You
they're
gotta bring
both
it back.
MMA stars.
Yeah,
But
They
here,
wore the gloves and shit, right?
I can't remember. I didn't see it. I remember the match though. What we got?
fair to assume AJ Styles versus LA Knight?
Book
Absolutely.
it. Book it.
Just saying.
Night 1 or night 2?
Doesn't matter. it just depends on what other matches are announced, because that's the thing that confuses me sometimes, how they decide what's going to be the matches for each night. Like, what do you have as the main event of night one?
Yeah.
Do you have Rhea versus Becky because Becky, or Actually, do you have Bailey versus Io because Bailey won the Royal Rumble?
Negative. The night one main event is going to be probably Rollins and Cody versus Roman and
I
Rock.
could see it being Rhea just because of the scandal they just had, trying to promote women, having the woman headline the event. I could see that.
Yeah, they just did it last event though.
I mean, if
Yeah, but it's WrestleMania.
If anybody out of the women deserve to main event WrestleMania, it is Rhea. So
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
Even though she has a
What
dick.
she's
I mean, I may love Bailey, and I'm a huge Bailey fan, but Rhea deserves.
Yeah, I don't see Bailey main event nothing.
how much do you feel that she's probably the most disrespected Rumble winner since the women have had the Rumble match because she's won and her feud with Io has just been like
Trash.
she wasn't at the press conference, she wasn't at Elimination Chamber, and then they're trying to build something, especially with Dakota turning on her.
I think they're telling a story with that. You know, she's gonna feel disrespected, and I think that's where a lot of it's gonna end with.
Speaking of disrespected,
All right, what else we got?
so that brings you up to Naomi. Who do you think Naomi's going to face?
Me?
I don't know. She just been getting her ass whooped. I mean, I just been seeing her. Unless I missed something, did I miss her winning?
No, she hasn't won since she's been back.
Right. I mean,
She lost the qualifying. Oh, no. She won the qualifying match because she was obviously in the Elimination Chamber. But
okay.
correct me if I'm wrong. She was the first one eliminated, right?
Yeah. She was. She was. They, from what I've seen, they just been using her as a great name, but you're just gonna take the fall.
That's why. Again, please forgive me for asking this question again. How many of you have seen SmackDown?
I have. Yeah.
This last one,
Yes.
I just seen the ending.
So during SmackDown, they had an interaction between Bianca Belair and Naomi backstage where right after Bayley was having her promo where she was talking about how Dakota turned on her.
Yeah.
And kind of like what Drew's saying that Jey Uso deserves everything that happens to him, they had Bianca saying that backstage that Bayley deserves everything that's happening to her.
Gotcha.
She was talking to Naomi because Naomi was watching it, and she basically talked down to Naomi about, well, you haven't been here, so you having the mindset that Bayley deserves a second chance, that basically she disregarded her opinion because she hasn't been there.
Gotcha.
And the one thing that would help Naomi's career, I don't know how you guys feel, is because her husband is in it, they need to put her in the bloodline. So the bloodline has a female member because she looked annoyed afterwards. Like, how dare, with my resume, you talk down to me like this, like I'm nothing because you were here and I'm not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, her husband got to get popping though.
If you're gonna add Naomi to the bloodline, she's got to turn heel though.
So therefore, her versus Bianca Belair would be a great match at WrestleMania for another women's match.
Yeah.
Because you can't have Bianca again being in the title match because then it becomes redundant. It was kind of like every WrestleMania match that involves Charlotte. It's got to be a championship match. She's either going for it or defending it.
Yeah.
And after a while, it gets old.
Facts.
Also, it should be noted that Charlotte, I believe, is on her way back as well.
Yeah. I don't think she'll be back to the fall though. Like in competition, like it's been a while.
And that could lead into, with Bayley, she should, if Sasha Banks decides to return, which supposedly she's going to be on AEW next week.
But did you hear Sasha on the podcast she was on the other day though?
No, I didn't.
She blatantly admitted that she will be back in WWE.
And
Word?
She says
She needs to be.
says, I have unfinished business in WWE. So
She
I
was
feel-
fire.
So what I think happened was I think she wasn't offered the money she wanted, and I think Triple H said, "Hey, go sign somewhere else and give us a call in a couple of years, and we'll see where we're at."
I like it.
I like it too.
That's kind of like what free agent was it in the NFL where he was told go try to sign somewhere else and see what you can get,
Kyle Duggar.
and
That's we did that with Kyle Duggar.
Yeah, but that's not what he's talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. I just can't. I'm drawing a blank as
They do it a
name.
lot though.
Zeke.
Was it Zeke?
I think it was
They
Zeke.
do it a
Or
lot.
am I
though.
thinking NBA? Where no, yes, it was. We're gonna move
right,
on.
I know what he's talking about. I know what you're talking about.
All right, so look, we got to get to our factions though, right?
So-
Or we still
Hold
got
on,
more.
real quick. We're gonna see. I sent the video. I think. Did you guys watch what Cena said about his rivalry with The Rock, and how he broke it down, and how it made so much more sense to Cena after he became kind of where The Rock was? Did you see that?
No, I didn't see it.
So Cena was talking about how their rivalry was real, and he always used to make fun of The Rock about how he wasn't there all the time. You're not there all the time. You're not there all the time. And he was like, I started making movies, and I realized, oh, shit, I can't be there all the time.
And that he was immature and everything.
Yeah.
And that's why, honestly, after the interview he did with Jimmy Kimmel, I don't know if any of y'all saw it.
I did.
Where he was talking about how he would do a match at WrestleMania 40 if the opportunity presented itself. I thought he was going to replace Seth, and it was going to be Cody and John Cena versus Rock and Roman because of the history between Cena and The Rock.
Yeah,
That'd be dope.
So, what do we got next?
we got the top 5 factions.
Oh, yes.
You just made the list.
All right. So for our top 5 today, we're going to do in honor of the late Ole Anderson, and with it being our 4th show, so throw up your 4s. We got the 4 horsemen here today.
Sting was in there.
We're going to do our top 5 factions of all time.
Before we start, let's recognition to Sting. What an amazing end.
Oh
to
my
his
gosh, bro.
career.
Amazing.
Showtime, folks.
The Stinger.
Yes.
My favorite all time.
That's John's guy.
I
Love
just
Sting,
don't know
bro.
if it should have ended what people are talking about that match.
I mean, it had to end in something where he can walk out of there safe. And a tag match is a good way.
I do like that he won it. I do.
Oh, I don't mind that he won it. It was just all of the other antics. Just like in AEW, what was the big story last year? Because CM Punk didn't want Jack Perry using real glass. And then what do you have? Darby Allin basically doing a swan dive through real glass. Where's the sense in that?
Shit, crazy.
So I'm glad Sting won. It's just I don't know if the rest of the people that were in it were necessary. Like, in all honesty, I thought it should have been him versus Darby. Would have been him trying to pass the torch, but I'm still going to beat you because you may have learned from me, but you didn't learn everything from me.
Yeah, I gotta see it. I gotta see it. I'm still stuck on the Prime Sting.
So we're going to start off with Quest. Who's your top 5?
Top 5 in no particular order. I would say my favorites, it was the 4 Horsemen with Sid Vicious, Barry Windham, Ric Flair, and
Arn Anderson.
did I say Sid Vicious already?
Yeah.
Sid Vicious. Yeah, Arn Anderson. Yep. That was my favorite.
Did you
4
like
Horsemen.
them
I
better than Arn and Tully in there?
Yeah, I liked it because they were more dynamic. You know what I'm saying? And that was the time when things were really popping off for WCW around 1990, 91, 92. So I like that one. Of course, I love NWO. NWO and NWO Wolfpack because Sting went in the Wolfpack. So those are my 3 of my 5. Of course, the Bloodline. I'm tripping. The Bloodline is fire. And I mean, personally, and I wasn't a DX fan. I really didn't like their whole little get up with the whole, I thought they were pretty corny to my, you know what I mean? Personally,
That's fair.
I did enjoy the Crush, Action, Smash, Demolition trio. I really liked that, how they could like have 2 different ones, like, you know what I'm saying? It was a short stint, but I liked the Demolition with the 3 of them.
I get to meet them next week.
Really?
Oh, I forgot to tell you, I'm going to a collector's con in Syracuse with my boy Matty Ice, and I'm going to get to meet Demolition, Victoria, and I'm drawing a blank of who else is on the list, but those are 2 names that I know off the top of my head that are going to be there.
Axe and Smash?
Oh, yeah.
Nice, nice. So
Here comes
those are
the-
my 5.
All right. So who you got, nephew?
Number one for me is always going to be DX. Just by far the most entertaining. The plethora of wrestlers they had in there was crazy. Number two would probably be NWO. I love the Wolfpack. Again, some of the people from NWO kind of crossed over with DX. I mean, number three, I cannot remember the name of them. I can't. You probably will. It was the Vampires. It was with Edge, Christian, and Gangrel.
The Brood.
Brood, yeah, Gangrel.
Dopest entrance music.
Yeah, they were fire. Edge and Christian.
My fourth one was, and I can't remember the name again, but it was with Aljamain, Kurt Angle, and I cannot remember the white dude's name. They were the wrestlers, the Olympic heroes.
Are you talking about Team Angle or?
They had all the gold. They wore the spandex like they were wrestling. It was Aljamain, wasn't it? Not Aljamain. What's his name? The black dude. Hold on,
Oh, Shelton Benjamin?
Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah, that's Team Angle.
Yeah. So that was probably my fourth one. And then my fifth one would probably be Nation of Domination.
Oh yeah.
Just because I'm a Rock fan and I like Farouk because he played for FSU. I'm a Florida State fan, so I paid attention to them.
Nice.
All right, who you got?
So mine is more along this era, just because I didn't watch. I started watching just before the pandemic hit.
What?
Better late than never, brother.
Yo, since I've started watching, I love every minute of it. I
Good.
don't miss a show. But you got to go Undisputed Era at number one.
Okay.
With Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Bloodline. At the beginning, I was not a fan of the Bloodline, but watching Roman just
Roman turned into
he's
an
amazing.
icon.
You can't not include the Shield in that.
I forgot about that.
I liked. It would be awesome to see Jon Moxley get another shot in the WWE.
But does he come back as Moxley or does he go back to Dean Ambrose?
Got to be Dean Ambrose.
I'm okay with that, but I also like that lately everybody that's been coming back, they've been keeping their name, so I wouldn't mind seeing Jon Moxley.
He was dope as Dean Ambrose. Like he was a legit.
So I'm gonna get some smack for this one. My next one's Damage Control.
Sorry, bro. I didn't mean to laugh.
You got to talk about
What?
you got to talk about what Bailey's done since she's returned.
You just like her ass. Stop playing, fam.
Who doesn't? I love you.
But I mean, but if you think about it, Dakota Kai was on her way out. Io was just spending her time in NXT, and it was just like, when are they going to get the shot? She's brought those people up. She's built them. She's done amazing. She definitely deserved to win the Rumble.
Was Dakota Kai named after Cobra? Was that like a play on it? It sounds so familiar. Dakota Kai, Cobra Kai, it's just so fucking familiar.
I think you need to go in the penalty box for that one, bro.
We didn't got it set up yet.
Nephew thinking
That'd
on
have
the
been
behind the scenes.
It just
stuff.
sounds so familiar.
And then this one's gonna throw it back the way with Johnny Gargano, Dexter Lumis, and Austin Theory when they were.
Where the heck has Dexter been?
Oh, I forgot.
He like disappeared.
I think it's just
They're refining his character, I believe.
gotta be, because I mean I don't like his current character.
I don't
but-
either.
But
He's a great presence, though.
he does. Yes, absolutely.
When he be dragging his legs and shit, that shit is creepy as a bitch.
Like that feud that he had with the Miz when he returned was that was gold. Like just to see him appear from underneath the ring.
Yeah, that was dope.
Anything with the Miz in it is amazing.
Miz's origin story is amazing in itself.
Who's yours, Will? What you got for your top five?
All right. So I'm going to go with in order from 5 to 1.
Okay.
So number 5 is going to be the Judgment Day. And the reason why is because it's elevated every member, except maybe you could say Finn Balor, because he's just treaded water. But for Damian Priest, especially Dominic Mysterio, because he has evolved so much better than if he had just been Rey Mysterio's son carrying Rey to the ring during their intros. He's evolved so much. And then what it's done for Rhea Ripley is just phenomenal, of the fact that she's just gone to a whole nother level of, do you really think there's anybody that can beat her? See, you don't know how to do it.
What?
See, that's how it's done. Let me educate you, my brother.
Get him.
If we had the penalty box open, You be taking
Me and
a.
you both be in there. I don't know if we got enough room. Though.
I'm just saying. What is it gonna be? The two of you squished in there?
Yeah, but you're right.
It'd be
You're
like
right
a
about that, though.
s'mores.
Well, yeah, because that turned her into she's approaching that iconic status.
So number 4 is for me, and it's on a personal level, is the Wyatt family. Because I was such a huge fan of Bray Wyatt through his entire career. And I'm talking about the original 3, which I pray that they induct at least Bray Wyatt. They should induct all 3 of them, but into the Hall of Fame, especially now that his dad and his uncle have been announced as being inducted. It would just, his impact was, and I've also met him, so it was just to another level. So I was having trouble with a 4th or a 3rd. So I'm going to skip it. We're just going to leave that off there.
All right.
Number 2 for me is got to be, you kind of said it, was the Shield. And I'm leaving both the NWO and DX off. And the reason why I'm leaving the NWO off is they had way too many members that were just, why are you there?
Yeah.
And to me, that lost the credibility of the NWO, other than Hogan, Nash, and Scott Hall.
That's what I think of, though, when I say NWO. I'm not thinking the whole collage of just let's throw anybody in there with Virgil.
It was like, who's
RIP,
not a
but-
member of the NWO at one point? WCW was NWO and then a few people.
Yeah.
So it just got to the point. But my number 1 is the Bloodline. And the reason why is you got to admit, since Roman Reigns has become the tribal chief, what he has created storyline-wise, not only for himself, but look at the Usos. Jey Uso on screen has become so great. Like when he turned on Sami Zayn and when he turned on, was seeming like they was going to turn on Jimmy, and the two of them kicked Roman in the face.
Yeah, that was fire.
He's bringing the best out of everybody.
Yeah, that what you just said. He's bringing the best. That's what it is.
And that's why he's slowly becoming possibly the GOAT.
Go. Yep.
Because everybody will say, oh, he's had the title for so long. So what? Yeah. He's had the title for so long because there's nobody on his level to take it from him, because that's why I think he's going to beat Cody, because Cody as the Universal Champion.
Don't like it. I think it'll be whack.
Who is his opponent's going to be? So what?
Exactly.
It's going to be like, you can't have WWE without Roman Reigns. Yeah, if you want to give him time off, okay, I can understand. But it's not until a mega star, whether it's somebody you created, who there's somebody that is now coming up to the main roster who can be that guy. Rob, would you please?
I had it in my head because we didn't say nothing about him all episode.
Well, we ran out of time because
Yeah.
I talked too much. I apologize.
It's passion. It's passion, brother.
He can be the next Paul Heyman guy. Whether Paul Heyman finally turns face legit, or they turn the bloodline face and have Roman still be the tribal chief but be the top guy, is seeing Braun Breaker spear Roman Reigns in half and going after that title, to me, is a better thing to watch than seeing Cody.
I agree.
That's your personal opinion, but to me, wouldn't Cody beating the tribal chief at WrestleMania propel Cody to that level?
But
you're saying there's not a star on the roster other than Roman that should be able to carry the title, but wouldn't that win propel him to that?
It would.
I think it would.
But my problem with Cody, this new version of Cody,
And he has the bloodline. Cody, like he comes from royalty.
which is true, but here's my issue with the whole thing with Cody. It seems like he's on a presidential campaign.
Yes.
He comes out and says the same things over and over again, which I understand in the world of wrestling is what they do. But it seems like he just recycles the same line in every town, I'm going to mention the town. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to campaign for finishing my story. And again, if he was not the son of the American dream, and if he didn't help create AEW, it'd be no
See,
big deal.
again, that goes back to my point. The question was, what would propel him to that? It sounds more that you're biased against Cody.
No,
You
I
don't
actually
his
like
story,
Cody. I actually,
but you don't like his story.
I don't like the repetitiveness of, oh, he needs to finish the story. He needs to finish the story. They handicap that he can't go for any other title. It has to be against Roman.
Yeah.
When his dad battled for the big gold belt, why can't he be the world heavyweight champion?
Yeah.
But they made it so that he can only go for the WWE title, and that's it. If he doesn't beat Roman, then he's not completing his story.
And eventually he's gonna have to complete it. So I mean,
You
I
like
mean,
to think.
I feel like it's set up to where they're gonna try to propel him into that's you have to have multiple stars. I
But
think they're
is
gonna try
his-
to propel him.
But is his story him winning the title, or is it beating Roman? Which is
That's a
it?
good question.
Because he was coming back to win that title, but it seems like, oh, I can't win the title if it's not I'm beating Roman.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I mean, I think he's at his apex right now of popularity. I don't think he can get any bigger.
I think if he beats Roman, he can.
I think the chasing down the king right now is what's making him shine, because before all of this chasing for the belt, when he was just still doing this political thing and when he would tours Peck and all of that and he was coming on his tour, he was popular, but it wasn't until he started chasing and they brought that story up.
Exactly. And what oh, go ahead, bro.
No, if we're being honest, I feel like if Cody was to win it at all, he should have won it last year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when it would have put him over the edge. But then again, you're taking the title off Roman, and I'm with Will. I don't think it needs to be taken off of him quite yet.
Nah, he's building his legend right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Plus, also, real quick, you all saw Elimination Chamber, correct?
Yeah.
So, did you notice, and I know you and I talked about this, that some people were chanting Cody sucks
Yep.
during that segment?
Yeah.
So, is he wearing out his welcome with WWE fans like he did in AEW when he jumped ship?
Ooh, good call.
Because the question is, did he jump ship back to the WWE because nobody in AEW loved him anymore? Or was it really because he wanted to come back home? I think he jumped ship because AEW is a burning, is going to eventually go down. Their TNA 2.0.
Yeah, they're B minus.
I don't think they're gonna.
B
They're
minus.
Khan's got way too much money. But what I would say is them saying Cody sucks is not necessarily a bad thing. If he can embrace that. I mean, to this day, if Kurt Angle comes out in a suit and his music starts, what do you think they're gonna chant?
But that's
You
different.
suck.
That's different during an entrance, or you're in the ring doing a promo and everybody's chanting "You suck" because they're tired of you already.
Some are. I agree.
I can see that.
All right, so moving on, our final topic now. Let's get into a little bit of sports talk. What's up with this Tyreek Hill and his girl? Like,
So the backstory that I got from it was that they were doing a drill, and the chick went full bore, and Tyreek didn't, and she pushed him back, and he felt embarrassed. So the next drill they did, he went full speed and ended up breaking her leg.
mind you, she's a very thick, voluptuous, Instagram
model.
thick. You know what I'm saying? So she looked like, just from eyeball test, she looked like she about 5'8", a nice 180.
And that's her claim. Her claim is that she's suing because he went too hard and broke her leg on purpose because she embarrassed him. It's the shit you can sue for these days is
It's a money grab.
it definitely is.
But here's the question: with his history, because after we started deciding that we were going to talk about it, I did a little research of some of the things that he's done in his
Or been
past.
accused of, yeah.
So does it sound like it's legit that because he got punked out that I'm not going to look bad, so I'm going to mess her up?
It's possible, but at the same time, I don't see an all-pro who, to me, and I think 9 out of 10 people would agree, or at least 8 out of 10 people would agree with me, he's the best receiver in football. I don't see his ego being bruised that bad to where he purposely breaks this.
I don't see that at all. I think it was she's just not in physical condition to be fucking around
with the all pro
with an all
athlete.
pro. Yeah, yeah. I tell you. I mean, if you're not actually doing the work in the weight room and all of that to get your ligaments right, to actually make these cuts and do these drills, you get caught out there like she got caught out there.
Yeah, these guys got little like muscle memory like you wouldn't believe. They do the same shit over and over and over. Yeah, so I mean, she just got caught wrong place, wrong time. She's trying to cash in on it.
And was it on his property?
It was.
That's why she cashing in. You get injured on someone's property, that's when you can get a little suit on your hands.
Now, is she going for a big payday? Because some people think that she just...
$75,000.
Okay, because some people think that she's just trying to get him to pay the medical bills. I don't know how much.
That was $75K. And to me, I think she went so low because he's going to pay more than that in attorney fees.
Okay.
So she was like, let me say a number so low, he just gives it to me so we don't go to court. That's what I got from it. But since we're on Tyreek, a little off topic real quick. Did you see Tyreek go in on Rick Ross?
I heard about it. I didn't see it. About his
When
house burning.
Yeah, when his house caught down, Rick Ross started filming it instead of calling the fire department. And he started shouting out Wingstop and stuff. And Tyreek was like, "You supposed to be my guy. We're neighbors. Like, I can't fuck with you no more." I just thought that was
That makes
super
sense.
interesting.
He reacted the way he should have. That's some real fuckboy shit to do that.
The only thing I saw was him talking about Tua and comparing him to Patrick Mahomes.
He has to because Tua's his quarterback now.
But it's like,
We know.
It's not even
you
close.
know,
Yeah, we know.
like
but
with your wife, are you going to constantly, when you're talking about your wife, compare her to your ex-girlfriend every time you're talking
Well, you're
just
gonna
to
say
make your
she's
wife
better.
look good?
that's what they do in the NFL.
But
I know,
Remember, Terrell Owens cried, bro. That's my quarterback.
I know, Mandy. Don't be doing that. Don't be comparing nothing.
All right, so what you thinking about the sports contracts and its effect on
we
the future?
forgot one.
Oh,
we
what
forgot
did
the
we get?
Miko Harmon.
Miko Harmon. Oh, yeah, the
what's
fucking
up with that?
Yeah.
Fill us in, nephew. Fill us in.
What's
What's
up
up?
with Miko Harmon?
So they're trying to talk about a tampering case. So you can't talk to other teams about trades, sign me while you're under contract with another team. And in week 4, when the Jets played the Chiefs, it's reported. Well, it's not reported now. Miko actually said it. He walked over to Andy Reid and them, and Patrick Mahomes was like, "Yo, come get me. Come get me. I'm ready to go." So he said that on a podcast.
Well, he was already there though, wasn't he?
He was playing for the Jets
But he was already a chief prior to that.
prior, yeah.
Yeah,
But
okay.
you still can't say it.
Right.
So he said that on a podcast, and now the Jets are looking for some type of compensation for tampering because you can't go on the fucking podcast and say, "Yes, I literally told him to come trade for me. I'm not happy."
So here's my question about that, though. Can you penalize the Chiefs? Because he said publicly that he said to them. So it'd be like you being on a different podcast and you say, oh, in an interview, not with any of us here, that you reached out to us and said that, come bring me to the show. And how is that our fault when you're coming talking to us unless we came to you?
Yeah.
So what it is, they're not penalized yet. They're looking into it because he admitted that he said it. Now they have to look at if they responded, if they reciprocated.
What about we take? When I started watching it, he took it back right away. It was just mind blowing, especially after. That was what made me laugh the most is when he was sitting there like, "No, I never said that, guys." Like I'm like, "No, man, you did."
You just said it.
Yep.
You know what he deserved,
Facts. But no, that's what they're looking into. It's an investigation. Did the Chiefs reciprocate the energy that he put out?
Okay.
And if they found that they did, then they could be, in violation.
Okay.
All right. So moving on. Let's get to the contracts real quick. So what's up with the sports contracts in the future of pro sports America? To your thoughts?
I would, if I had a son right now or a daughter right now, I would put a soccer ball in their crib, and I would never let them play with anything but a soccer ball. Because soccer contracts are absolutely outrageous.
Fill us in, brother.
They make baseball contracts look like shit. Basketball contracts look like shit. Shohei just signed, what did he sign? $700 million?
$700 million for 10 years.
10 years. Ronaldo got from Saudi Arabia $200 million for 1 year. Lionel Messi signed $674 million for 4 years. It's the money is just through the roof in soccer, dude. The European countries, they don't play about their soccer. So if you can get your kid good at soccer, Don't put a football helmet on them, a baseball helmet. Don't give them a bat. Don't let them dribble a basketball. You let them motherfucker kick a soccer ball as long as they want to kick a soccer ball, because that pays way more money than any sport in the world.
That brings me to the idea. All those names you said, none of them are American. And through my thought, I can't recall other than David Beckham maybe as
He's not American.
Or well,
He's English.
shit, well, I stand corrected. I haven't heard of any U.S. born soccer player being a star and getting that type of money.
which
Well,
is true.
No, there's been a lot of stars that played in Europe.
Now,
for
is that
America.
because in this country we don't value soccer like we do the other major sports?
I think so.
So in schools, they don't put much emphasis in trying to get you to play soccer
We
as
suck. It's basically what it is. Those countries have, like how they have AAU for basketball. You start at 10 and 11. Like AC Milan, FC Bayern, like teams like that, they have camps. They sign you as an 11-year-old, and you start in their 11-year-old division.
And who do you think's
and then you
teaching
move up,
in those
and then you move
camps?
up. Former players,
Former greats,
yeah.
all foreign players, right?
Christian Pulisic or Pulisic, 20 million euros to play over in AC Milan. It's $22 million a year.
Yeah.
And he's average. He's an average soccer player.
But also, you got to factor in the kid's love for it. The kid has to love it and want to be great. Like, you can put as many
facts.
things in a child's hands. If they don't fall in love with it, that means they won't fall in love with the process and the rigors of it. Then, you know what I mean, it's a lost cause.
So that leads me to ask you, Rob. I know your son is playing baseball right now. Does that make you push him a little harder to possibly make it big? Because, look at the money Shohei gets. All of the big time signees that they're going to get those big contracts. So does that make you want him to focus on it more? Or do you regret him picking baseball over other sports?
I don't regret it at all because John said it perfectly. If you don't fall in love with that sport, and you know my son real well, he loves. You put a baseball in his hand, he'll be outside in negative 25 degrees.
Which it
weather.
should be.
Baseball is my favorite sport, by the way.
But he, like I said, no, I don't regret it one bit. And I've also, I grew up unfortunately where my dad was telling me I wasn't gonna make it, like I was gonna be a nobody, and but in the same sense, you gotta have that goal because it makes you work 10 times harder.
I don't think you push, and I think you probably do this because I know you as a person, and you're probably a great father. I don't
you.
think you push. I think what you do is you encourage.
Yep.
And you say, you see what this man just got? If you stick to it
And that
and you
is
do your best, maybe you can get to this point.
And that is what we talk about. And that's his, I mean, if you want to be honest, he's 13 years old, and that's his goal. That's where he wants to end up, and it's crazy because I just watch him put in that work.
That's what's up. Now, that's the part right there. It has to be his goal. It can't be your goal because it didn't work with my son.
So let me also ask you, as a sports dad, because my kid's about to play softball, but unfortunately with women's sports, they don't have the contracts like male athletes do. And sadly, I don't think they ever will, except maybe the WNBA now that
Not even close.
I'm not saying to the level,
Yeah, it's not
but
close.
they're going to start getting the admiration and possibly the money. Is the one from Iowa?
Caitlin
Yes,
Clark.
I was drawing a blank as her first name because I was listening on the way here that she was in the whatever division Iowa's in, the championship game, and she had 4 points at halftime, and she ended up with over 30 points because of her second half, and they won in overtime.
Beast.
So, are you one of those dads where you want him to play because he enjoys it, and are you one of those ones where you're against like participation trophies
fucking hate
and
it.
you're in it to win? Because like my daughter did gymnastics, and one of the main problems that I had, and my wife and I went back and forth on this, she enjoyed doing it, but when it came to competition and money you're spending for them to be in those competitions, that the people teaching them weren't teaching them to win. They were just teaching them to participate.
Fuck that.
And if I don't have a lot of money. I save up to be poor. So if I'm going to spend my money for my kid to play a sport, whether they like it or not, is going to be when it comes to competitions. Is maybe I'm old school that if you're going to be in a competition to win.
Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna play something and you enjoy it, but fucking play it to win. Play it to be the best you can possibly
I
be.
am not a fan of participation trophies.
It's the worst thing that's ever happened to America.
Because the way I look at it is, and John, you're big basketball. You got to get blown out before you win a championship, just because that way you experience it. Like, and I try to tell my kid that all the time is you might get blown out, but in the end, it's what's going to make your team.
It builds
better.
character, man.
Because you're going to be like, okay, we beat you. We lost 25-2. And then 3 weeks later, you might end up beating them 8-7, and it's like, okay, see where you came from. You know?
Well, and also to add to that, though, you don't necessarily have to get blown out. Sometimes you just have to see another level of greatness in your position. Yeah, if you see someone who's an outstanding player that plays your position and what have you, like regardless of the win or loss, he's just better than you.
I'm gonna catch that nigga.
I gotta get that good. So what can I do to impact winning on my team by improving my skill set? How much harder do I have to work? You know, my field and my condition and my all of that stuff that goes into whatever particular sport it is. That's going to really make him stand out, because your team can be trash, but you can be a great player and you can move on.
And
What did Kobe shot? 4 air balls?
Yeah, and as a rookie, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was just about to ask you a Kobe question. Please forgive me history-wise. Did the Lakers win their 2 championships without Shaq after they lost to the Big Three?
Yeah, the Celtics big 3, yeah.
So
yeah.
you figure Kobe losing that championship just put even more of a fire in him
That's not what
to
it was.
come back.
It's not what it was. He wanted to beat Shaq.
No, it
Kobe
did.
said it. He said, I wanted to beat Shaq.
No, of course, that was always the end goal. But to his question about that, it was that he was sick,
Oh, it might have
literally
helped him, yeah.
sick about that. And what he had to do is make his teammates tougher. So he wasn't really putting the hammer on Powell and all of the role players like he did after that loss, which was a super blowout in Boston. So he did ante up his intensity with getting his team stronger mentally, physically, and all of that.
A great Kobe story. If you want to see the difference between LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Carmelo Anthony, because they were all pretty similar in talent, you want to see why Dwayne Wade and LeBron James went this way and Melo went that way. Watch the Redeem Team documentary on Netflix, where Kobe was going to the gym while they were coming home from the bar, and they were like, "Where are you going?" And he was like, "I'm going to work out." They all started to work out. Guess who went there at the same time as Kobe? It was Wade. It was LeBron. It was the other guys. Melo, 4:30 in the morning? That's too fucking early for me. I ain't going. And it's why Melo never became what he could have been.
Yeah, he never reached the apex of LeBron and Wade for sure, and he never became a champion.
And wasn't that also where they talk about how he blasted Paul even though
Right
he
through
was
his
his
chest.
teammate?
Yeah,
So I'm going to run right through his fucking chest.
So since we're talking about it too, another thing that we got to talk about too with our children, stay out of the media. Like, that is one of the biggest thing that I try to teach my kids right now.
Williams' father.
That shit will destroy your
You've
confidence.
got to watch what you're saying in front of people, because you never know who's going to have a cell phone. You never know who's going to have a.
Not even that. Don't read it. It kills your confidence.
It also destroyed the Ball sons' careers before it ever started.
Like I told you yesterday, I'm not a fan of Caleb Williams, and it's because he's way too cocky. And
I don't argue with
But
that.
there's a line between cocky and confident that you need, and maybe he has that. Like Dion had that. By the way, Big Will and Rob, if you ever want to meet me up at Harris Hill or at a park, I can teach your girl and your son everything they need to know about baseball. I'm a phenomenal baseball player.
Nice.
okay.
Awesome. So, great show, fellas.
Very good.
What you got, Will?
You got something for us, Cap?
Cap sleep.
Oh, you.
I was over here thinking about some shit, right? But since I'm being a little too extreme, I think I'm gonna put more thought into it and give you something next time.
Oh, you gonna wait till the Fab 5 episode?
I gotta put a button in there for it.
Ooh.
repercussion for not answering the question.
All right,
like
that's
it.
fair.
I like it.
For
to
our
the
penalty
penalty
box.
Cool for other things, but for this, I want some pressure on y'all to answer the damn question.
You got to go in the penalty box naked.
Shit, this guy.
Well, then I'm going to answer the question wrong. No. I'm just
Whoa.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Pause, fam.
I'm just kidding.
Pause.
Oh, wait a minute. Do we have enough time? Real quick. What's your thought of Tyson versus Paul?
Paul's going to sleep. If it's not an exhibition and it's not fixed, Paul's going to sleep.
I think Paul's gonna win.
Based,
Based upon just the fact that he's the
so
youth.
real fight, straight up fight. You think he's winning?
It's not a straight up fight. It's a show. I think Paul's gonna win. I mean, Tyson. I don't think Tyson is the same killer that he was. He's been domesticated to
Isn't
a
he in
degree.
his 70s now?
No, he's
Six-
58.
That's it. Just 50.
58.
Well, I
And
mean,
did you watch his training videos?
yeah. I mean,
See,
they're
that's
older.
what I was gonna say. If you've watched him train, ooh,
I mean, he didn't look that great against Roy Jones, right?
Yeah, he did.
I
He
mean,
made Roy Jones look stupid.
is Roy Jones is Roy Jones better than Paul at this point?
I would love to see that fight.
It's going to be entertaining.
I don't think they're gonna have. I don't think Tyson's winning.
If it's not fixed, Tyson is going to put him to sleep.
Now,
It's
is,
entertainment.
is that before WrestleMania? No, the reason why I asked
July,
is
it's in July.
July.
okay. Now, you know, the only reason why I asked is because I could see both Paul and Mike Tyson showing up somehow during WrestleMania preparation because of Logan and everything. Because it
Nah,
seems
Logan
like
and his brother been beefing over shit like that. Like Logan brought his prime drink to one of Paul's things for this boxing match, and Paul had like a Gatorade sponsor or something. And him and his brother got into a heated conversation. Like, you can't promote that shit. Get it the fuck out of here. And he's like, I'm your brother. You're not gonna let me bring my drink in. And
Right.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
crazy.
that's real. I'm putting some money on Paul though.
Is it an exhibition fight?
Yeah.
No, they didn't announce that yet. It's not an exhibition
If
yet.
it's an exhibition fight like the Roy Jones one,
Then
then I don't have any faith in the
I mean, is
it's
he's
going to
not
be a circus.
he's not a professional boxer, is
yes,
he?
he is.
Is he pro? Does he do?
Yes,
Is Tyson still considered pro?
yes.
I think it's still an entertainment piece.
they let them fight and it's not like an exhibition like the Roy Jones one, because the Roy Jones one was cool.
Yeah, because Tyson had to hold back against Roy because he hurt that nigga to the body bad.
They held back a lot.
He hurt Roy bad,
No
bro.
holding back.
So that's going to be the deciding factor. Is it called an exhibition or is it? Okay.
Yeah, me too.
All right. If it's not an exhibition, because I'm thinking it's an exhibition, like
Nah,
a
if it's an
showcase.
exhibition, then they're not even gonna announce a winner like they did in the fight.
Damn,
but,
would Tyson do that though?
but yeah, but once Tyson gets hit, that dog is gonna come back.
Yeah,
That-
Bob.
fuck
Yo,
that
that
nigga.
Bob and them hooks, bro.
Yeah, like that demon is still in him somewhere,
Yeah, it is.
and it's gonna come.
I like it.
I want to see him knock. I want to see him knock Jake Paul out.
Oh, I'm with you. I mean,
I want to see it too, bro. I just don't.
You're taking a younger, more experienced or less experienced guy,
And it's
instead
not
of
just
the older.
It's not just that. It's age. It's just Tyson is a different guy. Just
Oh, he's not talking about fucking you in the ass anymore.
yeah.
He knows how to hit
I know.
place to make your jaw do some shit.
I know, but and I don't think he wants to do that. Like that's the part that's holding me back. Like Tyson is
Yeah, because he don't want to go back to that guy.
He's
He don't-
such
the
at
guy that
peace,
told the
bro.
reporter, "I'll fuck you in your ass and make you love me, faggot." That Tyson would have killed this nigga. If that Tyson shows up at all, Jake Paul might not get off the mat. But if it's regular Namaste Tyson, then Jake Paul's got a chance. But if I'm gonna eat his children, my defense is impregnable, my style's impenetrable.
we're gonna see, but I
All
can't wait
praise
for
to
it.
Allah.
It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit in the stew. I know that.
If Tyson says all praise to Allah, Jake's going to sleep, bro.
See how much shit Jake Paul talks. Because if he turns it into a real competition
And
that's
Tyson,
what it is, Mike is gonna show up.
that dog's gonna show up.
That's gonna be the key. Is he gonna pop shit?
He has to. It's in his DNA.
He's going to show him the Mike
He's a
Tyson on the
YouTuber.
yard.
He's a Paul. He has to.
Yeah, that if he pop shit, Mike gonna eat his children, bro.
That's
If
what he
got-
said.
I can't wait to bet on this shit. If it's going down, like,
Yeah.
for real, there's gonna be some serious money on this.
I'm gonna split it in half. I'm gonna go half and half and make my bet so I win some way.
This nigga, that's not how you win.
Yo, I win something, bro.
But you lose too.
Well, hey, we had a great show, fellas.
So,
If you smell
Blow it up. This was
comment,
an excellent
subscribe.
birthday present. Thank
Yes.
you. Again, put in the comments what you want for our next list.
Episode 4, baby.
All right.
All